In today's lesson, we'll talk about how to get prospects, yes, your prospects, to convince themselves. How would you like it if you want to get prospects to convince themselves? So here's a couple of things that be very helpful, and this is something I reminded myself of all times. I always had something on a big post-it there saying, Simon, you're a liar, right? You are a liar. You're a liar. That's what your prospects are thinking. Okay, you're a liar. You just want to tell me how great your products or services are. You want me to buy or join because so you can make money. So deep down, people are skeptical, right? They have they're skeptical. They don't want to be sold, and they think you're lying. So maybe they're not. Okay, I'm being extreme. Maybe they don't think that you're really lying. But it's basically whatever you say is 1 year in, 1 year out. Doesn't matter if it's a co-market or it's a close friend of yours. They have doubts. So whatever you say, they don't really believe it. But the good news is the key to getting signups to close is to get your prospects to convince themselves by asking questions. And so this allows them to take ownership of that decision, right? So and the ownership of that idea. So I'll give you a couple examples, okay? So here's a few that I'm going to pick out for you. So instead of telling them, for example, how important it is to have an extra stream of income, right? A lot of times we tell people it's important to have an extra stream of income during the economy, it's bad, blah, blah, blah. You're a liar, right? They don't really believe you. But instead, ask them the question, in today's age, why would you want a second income stream? Actually, here's another even more powerful, and someone's kind of interested, right? Instead of telling them, yeah, great, go join, because it'd be awesome for you. Say, why would you want to, hey, you have a good job. Why would you want to do this? Kind of push them away. It's great psychology. And if they say, people always like to disagree, okay? If you say, you have an awesome job, they will say, nah, my job's not good. If you say, your job's terrible, they will say, no, my job is good. Right? So people naturally like to disagree. So if you say, hey, they're kind of interested in the business. Yeah, you got to do this. Is awesome. You naturally would disagree. Say, no, I don't know. This is, I'm not sure about it. But if they're kind of interested and you ask them, hey, you have a good job. Why would you want to do this? Especially, specifically, if we use that type of tone, they will all of a sudden start saying, oh yeah, I'm worried, I need more money for my kids, I need it for college tuition, I need to do this, I need for mortgage. They all of a sudden start convincing themselves. This is helpful. I'll give you another one. Okay. Instead of telling them they can make it a part-time or full-time income, right? You can do this part-time or full-time. You can ask them, hey, with your commitment dedication, do you see yourself doing this part-time or you see yourself doing full-time? Now they've said, oh, you know what? I'm going to go all in. I never fail in anything I do. I'm very committed. I work hard. I think I'm going to do this full time. They basically convince themselves. Or maybe they even say, I got the kids. I don't want to put too much time, but I can definitely do this part time. Yeah. Again, they convince themselves too. Right? Ask them the question. Here's another one. Instead of telling them, this can give you more time, give you time freedom, allow you to travel. Again, you're a liar. Lie. You're a liar. I don't believe you. It's 1 year in, 1 year out. Ask them the question. If you were to do this, how would this give you more time? If you were to do this, how would this give you more flexibility to travel? And they start talking about it. Guess who will convince themselves? They basically close themselves. By the way, this is very powerful closing strategy. Not many people teach this because it's all psychology. This is one of the things that helped me become a top recruiter. Yeah, for over 5 years, I've recruited 80-something people a year consistently. Learning to asking questions. Because here's the thing: when you ask a question, they answer it. They feel that you didn't convince them. They take ownership. It's their decision. They feel comfortable with it. By the way, it also prevents buyer's remorse from returns. Okay, because they feel they took ownership. It's not like you convinced them. They made that decision. So here's another one. A lot of times people say, well, it's not smart right now to just rely on a job. Yeah, the economy's not good. It's a recession, pandemic. Instead of telling, again, you're a liar. My job is awesome. I got a great job. I love my coworkers. It's great, right? You lose a prospect. Learn to ask a question. You ask them, do you believe Do you believe it's possible to have a good retirement just from working at a job? Then all of a sudden they may say, well, no, not really. My job doesn't pay. I think the housing's getting more and more expensive. I don't know if my savings are enough for me. Now all of a sudden they just convince themselves. So I give you 3 examples there on what you can do. Okay, learn instead of telling them, give ownership. Right? Ask questions, get them to convince themselves, and they take ownership of that decision. They're going to sign up way easier. And you can do this by the health products too, right? Instead of if you have a health product, if you have a service, right? If you have a service like identity theft, you need to protect your identity and all that. You can ask them, hey, do you see identity theft become more of a problem or less of a problem? And they start saying that. They convince themselves, right? If you have a health product, hey, it's important. So you got to be healthier. You got to take this stuff. Ask them, hey, right now with what's going on out there, is the health more important or less important? As you get older, is the health more or less important? Or as you get older, how do you see the way you treat your health? Get them to and by the way, your prospects will start thinking. Maybe they never even thought about these things before, but they start thinking it. And by the way, when you were saying it, they weren't even listening, they weren't even paying attention. But now you ask them questions, they start thinking it. As they're going through it, they're convincing themselves, right? So your action step to put this action so you take advantage of this, I want you to list out 20 benefits of your business, your product and service. What are the benefits of the product and services? And learn to put in a question to get them. And when you ask that question, and I gave you a couple that you can use, you can replay this video, watch it again. When you use that, you can get more signups, more sales. Because your prospects are taking ownership. They no longer feel they're sold. Instead, they convince themselves. They take ownership of that decision that they want to buy, they want to join, they want to have what you have. You didn't convince them, they convinced themselves. And that's the secret to closing more and getting more signups, making more sales.